All right. And we're back. This is Hook and Ladder. We are week 2 of the 2025 season. And, it's like every week 2, there's probably 1 or 2 actual games. And then a lot of these teams decide not even to start showing up for games and losing to people they shouldn't lose to.
Yeah, I mean, week 2 this week, we talked about at the end of our video last week. It's kind of a lot of fluff this week. Only a couple of decent games, that had really potential, talking playoff potential, I guess you could say. But some of these games turned out to be really good.
Yes.
And like Terry said, a lot of teams basically were not paying attention. They were looking forward to next week, and some of them got bit in the ass.
That's right. Well, I don't think there's anything to discuss here on the Friday's slate of games. The NFL season started, so the Thursday night didn't happen this week. So Saturday, start with Ohio State knocking off Grambling 70-0.
Yeah, there was a lot of big scores
Yes.
this week, but look at the teams that were being played.
That's right.
Nothing against Grambling, nothing against Ohio State. They did what they're supposed to do when they play a team like Grambling.
That's right. Moving right along. Penn State knocked off Florida International 34-0.
Same thing here. I mean, at one point, Penn State wasn't looking too good, and then they kind of turned it on.
Yes. Moving right along. LSU knocked off Louisiana Tech 23-7. Another snooze fest.
Yeah, the one thing to note about this game is LSU lost their center, and it looks like he's going to be out for a while.
Mm-hmm.
He was in a boot, no pads on, nothing in a boot. So, they got Florida this week at home. I don't know how that's going to affect them. I mean, I didn't watch much of this game. I was kind of flipping back and forth. They didn't look great. They didn't look bad, really, either. I mean, they were pretty much in control, but you'd like to see a game like this score a little bit more points on it. So
yeah, but it's against a no-name Louisiana Tech.
Exactly. I mean, a lot of these teams. There was weather all throughout the Southeast yesterday. Massive delays in a bunch of games. And I think some of these teams were kind of just sleepwalking through their game against a cupcake opponent.
Speaking of sleepwalking, Georgia knocked off Austin Peay 28-6. A lot of opportunities to really run the score up, and they just didn't take advantage of it.
Yeah, I mean, just like last week against Marshall, Georgia comes out and scores first couple possessions, and then, first possession, Georgia fumbled. The next 2 possessions, they got touchdowns. Yeah. They did a 3-and-out punt, and then another one, which was kind of a squirrely. So you're kind of looking at it as a Georgia fan, it's like, all right, when we don't screw up, we're scoring touchdowns. And then that kind of goal line stand at the end of the half was just really bad play calling. Going to give Austin Peay a lot of credit for stuffing Georgia, but I mean, Mike Bobo made it easy for Austin Peay.
Yeah.
Georgia has there was a massive weather delay. The half concluded during halftime was like 2 hours. Didn't start again until after 6 o'clock at night, the second half. And then Georgia kind of turned it on. They had 4 possessions in the second half, scored 2 touchdowns out of the 4.
Yeah.
One of them was a fumble. Again, they're rolling, and there's a stupid fumble. Reminds me a lot of last year's Georgia team. And we've talked about these kind of games with Georgia the last few years, going back to the first of their back-to-back national championship season in 2021. They always have games like this against these, for better term, cupcake opponents. They always sleepwalk through it. They look like crap. The fans bitching, moan, oh my God, our offensive line's trash. Our defensive line's trash. Our wide receivers are the worst. And then, last year was the worst year Georgia has had since probably 2019. And they lost 2 games. Won the SEC championship, went to the playoffs, lost to Notre Dame, went eventually made the national championship game. So this is playoff national championship or bust for Georgia fans. So I get the frustration. At times they look completely discombobulated on offense. Other times they seem to move the ball well, score a touchdown. They have a fumble, but they're moving the ball well. There's a turnover. They got to get it cleaned up because I think Tennessee's about to beat the shit out of them this weekend.
We'll see. That's what I'm thinking too. They didn't want to show anything the past 2 weeks.
I don't buy that. I don't buy the vanilla. Because when you have a new QB and you got new players and you're trying to get off, they've started 2 games into the season, they started 10 offensive linemen due to injuries. You're trying to get cohesive. So I don't believe they're just going vanilla the whole way. I think they're just trying to make it through these games.
Right. And I don't really see anything going on with their defense. I think the defense looks great.
Defense looks really good.
Offensive line right now, to me, is the big issue.
That and quarterback. There's too many talented playmakers at running back, tight end, and wide receiver for them to look like garbage.
Yeah, and the thing about the quarterback situation, you think Ryan Plabisi's putting some pressure on him? Because it just seems like to me, if they get down against Tennessee, 2 scores.
Kirby Smart's not going to do that.
I don't know,
think
man.
Kirby Smart has the balls. I don't think he's a good enough coach to sit there and say, this has been my guy in the program. I'm going to yank him because the guy behind him might be better. We've seen it with Kirby Smart before. Multiple 5-stars have transferred. I don't want to call it loyalty. I think he might think that the guy behind the starter is more talented overall, but the guy starting safer. Carson Beck threw a bunch of interceptions last year, but he knew the offense.
Right.
I think the same thing could be said with Gunner this year, only maybe doesn't know the offense as well. If he starts turning it over left and right, maybe. Or if they look, they got Tennessee, Alabama, Kentucky, and then like Texas and Ole Miss. If they drop 3 or 4 of those games, I can see them going to Puglisi rest of the season and getting ready for 2026.
That's right. Moving right along. Miami knocks off Bethune-Cook 45-3. Miami's
didn't watch any of this, but I know Beck had a pretty decent game.
Yeah. I saw a little snippet before the game. It said Carson Beck has thrown an interception in 5 games.
Surprising.
Yeah. So apparently
He still can't hit a deep ball, but he's for my money, in the last 10 years of college football, nobody has thrown that intermediate 15 to 25 yard pass downfield to the middle of the field between the hashes better than Carson Beck.
I agree. Moving right along, Oregon knocked off Oklahoma State 69-3. Oregon, they may be the best team in the country.
We talked about this last week. We kind of saw this coming. I don't think there's a team that I can think of that's had a bigger fall off than Oklahoma State. They're always a good solid team. Rare, once in a while they're in contention, right? Gundy's usually has them as a solid program, but he's falling into that. He's been there so long. The program is stagnant. They're not getting the recruits. They're not getting the transfer guys. I don't know what their NIL situation is like, so I really can't comment on that. But they're struggling. Last couple of years, they haven't been good. And Oregon, in an interconference matchup, just took them and beat the living hell out of them.
Yeah, I mean, it's just the haves and the have-nots at this point. Moving right on, Texas bounced back game against San Jose State. Texas won 38-7.
Arch looked good, but everyone's like, "Oh, watch out! All the Arch haters, you're eating your words." It's like,
is he hurt?
You played San Jose. No, he's not hurt. I'm on call. That's why this thing's going.
Well, I seen a video a video on Twitter or something. He was throwing and he was really grimacing on his throwing.
I saw that too. I don't know if he's hurt or not, but
he had 5 touchdowns, 235
he
yards.
Looked good, but again, you're playing San Jose State, and then the first game you played Ohio State. We're talking complete ends of the spectrum. He's going to get better, but I don't know if he's. I don't think he's going to live up to the hype that everybody put on him this year. But it's not his fault. It's all these sports media people saying, "Oh, he's the first pick of the draft. He's a Heisman." If he doesn't live up to that, which I don't think he will, then people are going to call it a failure.
That's right. Moving right along, Clemson in a battle against Troy. Another game delayed by weather. Clemson won 27-16.
They were down.
Yeah.
They were down pretty bad. And then Klubnik brought them back, made some nice plays in the second half. And they didn't. I wouldn't say this is comfortable. I think that they would have liked to have scored in the 30s, but I mean they were struggling. They were struggling pretty bad.
Yeah.
I didn't think they were going to lose.
Right. But I mean, the way the game started, I mean, eventually the talent level is going to take over the game and they're going to win.
Yep.
But yeah, Clemson had all they wanted from Troy this weekend. South Carolina knocked off South Carolina State 38-10.
3-hour weather delay to start it. I know Clemson and Georgia had their weather delays like during the game, which to me that's again that helped Georgia in my opinion. It hurt Clemson, I think. But South Carolina 3-hour delay. They looked like complete ass offensively. They needed 2 punt return touchdowns. One of them was risky as shit. But they needed 2 punt return touchdowns to kind of get it going. They just didn't look good. Defensively, they looked fine. Offensive, they were just awful, absolutely awful.
Just not clicking.
And they didn't look good offensively last week either. I know they had the touchdown in the at the corner of the end zone, which was a catch. Guy caught it 2 feet down, hits the ground, slides for a little bit on the ground, and then the ball kind of starts to come loose, and they said no touchdown. But they still didn't look, even with that, they didn't look that good last week either. So they got to get some kinks worked out offensively.
They definitely need to. How about Illinois knocks off Duke 45-19?
The Flying Jerrys is what we're going to start calling them. Illinois looked real good against Duke. I actually picked Duke to cover, and they did not. Illinois is looking good. They got a good running game. They got a solid passing game. The defense looks good. Brett Bielema has Illinois looking like that Wisconsin squad of old. Way back before he bailed on the Big Ten to go into the SEC. Yeah. Couldn't hang there. Goes back to the Big Ten. He's got them rolling. He's got them right where Illinois fans have been wanting for a long time.
That's right. Moving right along.
You got to look what their schedule's like, though. I don't know. I know Indiana's got a cakewalk of a schedule. I wonder what Illinois' got. We might have to look at that a little bit.
Do a little investigation on that. Okay. Mississippi State knocked off 12th ranked Arizona State in a thriller. Mississippi State 24, Arizona 20.
You know, I looked at yesterday being a good day for the SEC. Not a good look with the Florida Gators, but when you have what is arguably the worst team in the conference beating a conference champion. Granted, that was last year, but they got a lot of people come back. They're ranked number 12th in the country. They go on the road to Mississippi State, and Mississippi State beats them. I mean, they were up 17-0 in the half. Credit Arizona State in the second half, came all the way back. Yep. They go down for a touchdown to take the lead of 28-20 or 27-20. And Mississippi State stuffed them on a goal line stand, forced them with under 2 left to kick the field goal, which they thought was going to win the game. Yeah. Mississippi State, no panic in that QB. The winning touchdown, he stared down that guy forever, but I think the play call with what defense was showing, that was really the only option. Yeah. And, man, what a beautiful throw, what a beautiful double move by the wideout to catch a 58-yard touchdown pass, like 30 seconds left to go in the game.
Moving right along. Excellent game, though. I mean, just
really
good.
Game.
A big-time win for Mississippi State. They needed that. South Florida knocked off Florida 18-16.
Another weather delay, if I'm not mistaken. They had a nice delay on this one. Florida, 3 touchdowns called back due to penalties. That's 21 points. He was taken off the board. A lot of penalties on defense that would extend to South Florida drives. I don't think South Florida really looked all that good. Florida outgained them by a crap ton. But, the turnovers and the penalties really obviously hurt them. One that I thought Florida with a penalty by South Florida to give Florida a chance in the red zone when they scored on a TD pass by Lagway. Yeah. But South Florida marches down the field, misses a field goal. Then they stuff the Gators. Gators got a punt. They get it all the way back. It looks like South Florida's kind of stuffed again, and the Florida Gator guy spit on the dude, the offensive lineman, and they get a 15 yards first down. Next play, a little screen pass. Looks to be stopped behind the line. He breaks tackle, goes like 30 yards. A few plays later, a few quarterback run plays by Brown. Get right down there inside the 5. Kick your chip shot. Martin Grammatica's son, Nico, with the game winner. I mean, this is awful. One of the worst. And what kind of stuck out to me was it's not the way Florida played most of the game. Like we just said, 21 points you leave off the board because of penalties. Your touchdown plays taken away because of a penalty on the play. That last drive, Florida could not stop the Bulls. They knew exactly what was coming with the runs. They couldn't stop them. That's right. Couldn't stop them, make it a longer, more difficult field goal, though after the guy just missed one. But, man, you cannot lose that game. So Florida's fans are chanting "Fire Billy" in the concourses.
Yes, you saw the video
after the game. Yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, look, they didn't like him last year. They wanted him gone. They had a huge turnaround. Excellent recruiting classes. Good in the portal. They've got a talented team.
That's right. Moving right along. Florida State knocked off East Texas A&M 77-3.
Another massive score. It's like the 3 games that somebody scored in the 70s. Yeah. Didn't see any of this game, but I mean they're playing East Texas A&M. I mean,
we didn't know that was a school. So moving right along, Oklahoma defeats Michigan 24-13. Oklahoma was pretty good.
They looked real good. I watched this game. Oklahoma's defense I knew was going to be really good. True freshman QB. I figured if any team can get their defense ready for a true freshman QB and a very good team like Michigan to be Brent Venables, and I was right. Defense looked really good. They basically stopped the run. Also, Underwood couldn't really hit a pass. There were guys open downfield. He was hitting guys on corner routes and some in routes and stuff like that. But he was missing a handful of plays that he was missing the guy. And Oklahoma looked real good first half. Ended the first half 14-0. Worst thing that could happen to Michigan, in my opinion, was taking the handoff by Justice Haynes, going 75 yards first play of the second half, because that, in my opinion, I know you got to stick to the run. What I felt was after that play, they were like, okay, we can run the football on them, and they continued to run. When even though Underwood wasn't making the best throws, they were still making hay down the field a little bit in the passing game. But they stuck to the run a little too much, and I think it cost them. They ran out of time. Oklahoma kept trying to give them chances. Muffed punt, and there was another fumble, a missed field goal. They were given them great field position, which led to a couple Michigan field goals. But Oklahoma's defense held firm, and when Mateer, I can't want to call him Mater, but Mateer was making plays. Impossible guy to sack. He's running the football well. He went for 350 yards total offense, rushing and passing. And even all that said, he can't throw a touch pass to save his life. He's wanting to just rifle it in on the line right to the guy when the defender just puts his hands up, knocks it down. Happened 3 or 4 times. If he can get that touch pass down, they're going to be a really dangerous team. Michigan was good. Defense looked really good, in my opinion. Offense looked okay. I don't think they're going to get stuffed by too many people like that in the Big Ten. So they should be fine going forward. Give Underwood plenty of time to get better and develop before they got to play Ohio State at the end of the year. I think Michigan's schedule really sets up for them to go into Ohio State with 1, maybe 2 losses on the season if something goes bad.
That's right. Moving right along, Iowa State knocked off Iowa 16-13.
I watched this game as well. Snooze fest. My God, it's extremely boring football. I mean, the whole 3 yards in a cloud of dust. It's like 2 yards in a cloud of dust punt. It's boring. But I expected Iowa State to take this game, and they did. Yeah. They left some points on the field as well. So, that's right. But they didn't cover, so that cost me.
Yeah. How about Baylor knocking off SMU 48-45 in 2 overtimes? Yeah,
I didn't see much of this game. I did see the highlights. Good for Baylor after losing to Auburn last week. Yeah. I wonder if SMU is just kind of like they had that good year last year, and that's going to kind of be like a once in a while type of thing for them.
You never know. I mean, Baylor's they've got some players. They got a program. They can do some things. I don't know about SMU though, so we'll see. Texas A&M knocked off Utah State 44-22.
Didn't see any of that game.
Yeah. Ole Miss righted the ship against Kentucky and avenged the loss from last year. Ole Miss knocked off Kentucky 30-23.
I watched this game. Simmons threw 2 early picks. Kentucky jumped out to a lead. They looked pretty good offensively. Their quarterback looked like he could actually complete a forward pass, which is different than last year. Yeah. But Ole Miss, both quarterbacks, both starters from each team went down. Backups came in, and Ole Miss, eventually the talent and the scheme and the continuity of that team, Lane Kiffin's Ole Miss Rebels, overtook Kentucky, who's basically now is coming into like a journeyman portal team. Good win by Ole Miss on the road. It was. The score, to me, doesn't indicate how well Ole Miss played in that second half. And, I think it was they spotted him 10 points early or something like that. Yeah. I think second half, Ole Miss really took it to him.
Yeah. Moving right along, Alabama knocked off Louisiana Monroe 73-0. What can you say?
It's Alabama. I think people who talked about Alabama's demise last week don't really know football. That's happened to them before. It's going to happen to them again. Are they as good as they used to be? No. Are they as bad as they looked last week? No. I still think Alabama is definitely a playoff contender. There's just too much talent on that team.
Yeah.
They've done everything they can to make sure Kalen DeBoer, and when I say they, I mean the boosters, when it comes to throwing money at people to get recruits to come there, to get guys to stick around, not go to the portal, nobody's really done it better than Alabama to make Kalen DeBoer at least give him all the tools. And they've got all the tools. Let's see what's happening. You know, they got to go to Georgia, which I think they should win that game.
We'll see. Speaking of Georgia, their opponent next week is knocked off East Tennessee State 72-17.
We've seen this before from Tennessee. Their offense can do this. Their defense isn't as good this year as it was last year, in my opinion. Offense, I think, should be a little bit better. But their offense can do this to people. You get up, 21-10, 21-7, 28-10, something like that. Kind of puts pressure on the opposing team's offense. That defense will capitalize off your mistakes. They just keep rolling and rolling and rolling. What I like about Tennessee, what I like about Josh Heupel is when they put in the backups, they're not handing off to kill the clock and just get out of there. They're putting in the backups to run the offense. So they're still running the same plays, running the same pass plays, and putting up points. You don't like scores 72-17? Well, if you're East Tennessee State, stop them. It's easy as that. I got no problem with these teams rolling up scores like this because they're doing it with backups.
That's right. Moving right along, Indiana knocked off Kennesaw State 56-9. Hey.
So I wonder what Stagnetti, or how you pronounce the guy's name, because a douchebag, what he's going to say about it. He'll probably make some kind of reference that, I thought they were in the SEC because, they're from the South. I hate this guy. I don't mind Indiana as a program at all. I can't stand the coach, so I want them to lose every game so they can piss off. Congratulations on winning against Kennesaw State.
And Texas Tech, a team you talked about last week, they paid a lot of people to play for them, and they knocked off Kent State 62-14.
They're in a conference that should be really, really easy for them to compete. I can see a scenario where they might lose one game, make a playoffs, and then get absolutely smoked by one of the top teams that have to play them. But you never know. They did. They're in that win now window. We'll see what happens. Yeah. No team that relies strictly on NIL has ever won anything of substance. Right. A&M imploded a couple years ago. They were that team that the first one to do it, where they just basically spent millions and millions and bought everybody. Right. Didn't work out for them. All those guys now play for other teams.
That's right. Then you get Utah knocked off Cal Poly 63-9.
Utah's looking good.
Yeah. But you know what? Every other year, they put a team out there that plays pretty well.
They might not be the most talented team, but they play sound football. They're very physical, and they play 100% heart and emotion every play.
Yeah. Well, let's see. Outside of the top 25, Syracuse knocked off UConn 27-20.
Missouri took out Kansas. That used to be a really big rivalry back in the day. Missouri was down, I think, 21-0, and came all the way back, won 42-31. They've got a sneaky good football team this year. They're not super good on defense, but offensively they're really good. Quarterback, what's his name? I can't pronounce it. Prabulia, Bo. Let's call him Bo. He's really good. He can throw the football. He can run. They got some good wideouts. Their running backs are okay. Yeah. Their defense is all right. They've got a couple of Georgia transfers, 2 edge guys that are really good. They've already made a lot of plays in the first 2 weeks of the season. Didn't really get much playing time for Georgia. They go to a place like Missouri, and they're starters, and they're paying dividends.
That's right. Let's go to next week and see what we got. But it wasn't the what everybody predicted to be a ho-hum weekend. It was a
good weekend of football.
Good weekend of football. A lot of teams that shouldn't have been in ball games were in ball games.
And because of the delays, I was actually able to watch more games as things kind of got spread out. Yeah. Didn't have a big lull between games either because of it.
Thursday night, we got NC State Wake Forest matchup at 7:30 Thursday night, September 11th. we got a ranked game, a ranked team. Indiana's playing Indiana State Friday night.
Third week in a row, Indiana's going to play a cupcake. So good for I can't pronounce it, Stagnetti, whatever his name is. He's going to run his mouth, and then they open the season with 3 cupcakes.
That's right. New Mexico's playing UCLA. You can get a ticket to the Rose Bowl for $10.
$10.
That's pretty awesome.
By the way, speaking of UCLA, Nico had another bad game yesterday, threw a pick that basically ended the game for him. So as Tennessee's having a really good start to the season, Nico's having a really bad start to the season. You hate to see it. Yeah. I called it.
Yeah.
I knew he wasn't any good last year. Basically, every team that played Tennessee would have told you that this kid's really not that good. Yeah. It's the running game that makes Tennessee go. If you stuff the run, you're going to beat them because they really aren't the best passing team. Despite them throwing it around with Josh Heupel's offense, they are a run-first team. Mm-hmm. Samson was the SEC Player of the Year last year, and the teams that shut the run down beat them.
That's right.
And Nico wasn't that good. They're better this year offensively, in my opinion. And they basically got lucky. None of the Tennessee fans would have thought it this spring when he was doing the holdout in spring practice and then bailed. But they basically got better by ditching that kid.
Well, good for Tennessee. Mm-hmm. They're playing well. Their fans should be very happy. Mm-hmm. We'll find out this weekend just how good they are. Oregon is playing Northwestern at noon on Fox.
Snoozer.
Clemson.
This could be a sneaky good game.
Clemson, Georgia Tech, noon. You can get a ticket for $100.
Not bad.
Yeah.
Playing at Bobby Dodd's outside. It should be a nice, not too hot September afternoon in Atlanta, Georgia.
Yeah. You got Michigan try to get right against Central Michigan.
But that Clemson game, though, I mean, Georgia Tech's looking good. Clemson's looking all right, coming off kind of not a great performance against LSU and not a great performance yesterday, but I still think they're a good team. They've had periods where they've looked good.
Yeah.
That could be a tough game. I mean, it's a conference game.
Yeah. Interesting how that was going to set up. Anything of note? We got Wisconsin coming to Alabama.
Alabama should completely roll Wisconsin. Shouldn't be a contest, but it'll be kind of fun for the season ticket holders for Alabama to get a team, a Power 5 team that you don't really ever see coming into your building.
That's right. I don't see anything else in the. You got Auburn's taking on South Alabama at 12:45, and then you got Georgia against Tennessee at 3:30 on ABC. You can get a ticket for the game for $364.
I'll watch it at home.
Yeah.
USC is playing at Purdue, and USC is not really looked at very much because they're unranked. They're not the greatest of teams, but they're still a team to kind of pay attention. They got a lot of talent. They have spent a lot of money on NIL for this recruiting class. That'll be freshmen next year. So definitely to watch. I think they're going to give Lincoln Riley this year as a kind of a pass. When he gets that class in next year, that'll be when the clock starts to tick on him.
Okay. I mean, USC should be a better program than that.
There's plenty of guys in that area. I mean, look at all the games I watched yesterday. How many times was somebody from around the LA area?
And all half the kids are playing in Oregon. Yeah,
they're all Oregon. I mean, you got the running back, 5-star running back from Georgia, Nate Frazier is from Compton. You got the couple kids from Florida, the kid from Alabama. For a long time, those California kids have been leaving. If they keep those kids in state, USC will be fine.
That's right.
And they're doing it now, but they're having to pay them.
Yeah. South Florida at Miami. We're going to find out if Miami is good here pretty soon because their schedule gets a little tougher here in the next few weeks. Oh, and let me say something about Tech while we're thinking about it. I looked at their schedule. They don't play anybody after this week till they play Georgia in November.
They got the luck of the draw this year with the schedule.
Yes, their schedule is very favorable. They're not 11-1 or 11-0 coming into.
Was it Josh Pate picked them as a
sleeper?
A sleeper for the conference championship game and the playoffs.
Yeah.
I mean, so they miss Miami and Florida State? Yeah. Because it's Miami, Florida State, Clemson, Georgia Tech are basically the 4 best teams in the ACC.
And they get Virginia Tech and NC State, the mid-tiers.
Out of those 4, I think you're going to at least get 2 of them in.
Yeah. Ohio State plays Ohio. Illinois playing Western Michigan. Ole Miss, Arkansas, SEC rivalry game. Yep.
That should be a good game. I think Pittman's got Arkansas playing pretty well. Yeah. We'll see if Ole Miss's quarterback Simmons is back. Yeah. You got Florida, LSU. That's pretty much Oh, wow, you got 2 games right there. Florida LSU, A&M at Notre Dame. 2 big games right there.
That's right. You got South Carolina and Vandy. Let's see what else you got. You got nothing really to speak of. Portland State's taking on Hawaii at 11:59 p.m.
Couple of good conference games. Florida LSU, Georgia Tech, Clemson, Tennessee, Georgia. Then you got that good out of conference game, Texas A&M, Notre Dame.
Minnesota Cal.
I'm interested. Notre Dame's a good physical football team.
Yeah.
And I don't think Miami is like a juggernaut by any stretch of the imagination, but Notre Dame was breaking in a new quarterback, true freshman, new defensive scheme, players. I'll be willing to be very interested to see how this goes because A&M's got some continuity from last year.
Yeah.
Notre Dame's ranked higher, obviously, but it's at South Bend. I think Texas A&M's a more talented team.
Yeah.
Are they the more physical team? I don't know.
We'll find out for sure.
It's a good game.
Yeah, so business is picking up next week. So I guess that's about it.
Yeah, looking forward to it.
Absolutely. Well, you guys have a great week, and we'll do it again next Sunday.
See ya.